Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about whatever it is we want to chat about. And today we are talking about how to awaken your desire. How to awaken your desire. My very special guest is Tamara Robinson, a pleasure, passion, intimacy, love coach who's from Miami but is based in Maryland. She actually was on the show earlier this year on a panel. And so I invited her to come back and talk to me about some of what she does. And we decided to dive specifically into the topic of desire. So before I bring her on, I want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube. And I want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. Put your city and your state so we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live, and we do fully expect to engage with you all tonight. So your comments, your questions are welcome. I see you, Marcus Boston, representing Tampa. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all the love. I see you, Miss Portia, down in the 305. Hope you had a great holiday. Thank you for being here. And Miss Iris here in Tallahassee, who was on last month. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let folks know they should be on here because this is going to be a great conversation about awakening your desire, awakening your desire. So please hit like, hit share. Let people know they need to be on here. Invite your friends, your family members, everybody. Tell them they need to be on here. They need to join our conversation. All right. So while other folks are joining us, I am going to go ahead and share some of Tamara's her bio. Tamara Robinson is a pleasure, intimacy, and love coach. Y'all didn't even know that existed. I didn't before I met her. But she empowers individuals and couples to find love, confidence, and sexual fulfillment with empathy and a safe space. She helps clients overcome challenges and explore desires, which we're going to talk about tonight. Beyond coaching, Tamara enjoys self-care practices and continuous learning to enhance her expertise. Her journey from a sexual awakening at 40 drives her commitment to empowering others on their love and intimacy journey. Choose her for compassionate, non-judgmental guidance towards a more satisfying love life. And then we will get into how you can connect with her on her various platforms. So y'all help me welcome. Wait a minute. Miss Tamara Robinson.
Hi. How are you? Hello, everybody. Did I hear there's some people in 305?
There are. My mom in Miami Gardens. Yes, 305 is representing.
Yeah.
305. Yes. So Tamara is from South Miami, but Miami all the same. So
I went to Killian High School. So that's the area that I grew up in Richmond Heights area.
Indeed. But lots of love
But
for the
still 305.
Yes, maiden day. Love it. My cousin Whit is on in Virginia.
That's right.
Because I appreciate you. And so we are going to have a great time talking tonight. So before we get started, though, My question, of course, is who are you? Not what you do, but who are you?
Oh, I love this question. I love this question. Um, I am a woman. I am a Black woman. I am a mother. I am a divorced single mother. Dating in a relationship right now. I have a background in software engineering, which is completely different from being a sex coach. I know it's total opposite, but it's a passion of mine. I'm an author, a poet, a published author, and I love to dance. Dance is my first passion, my first love. And then writing. I love writing as well. And I love helping people. And I'm a cheerleader for people. And I just love helping people connect with their desires and just learning, just helping people understand how their desires can fuel their passions and what they do with their lives.
Nice, 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 nice. So, talk a little bit about how you got into passion, pleasure coaching.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you read the bio, you mentioned it was like an awakening that happened at the age of 40. I can go back a little bit before that, and I was married for 10 years, and I would say that I after the divorce, after divorcing, I really believe that I lost myself in
Mm,
the relationship. And I lost myself in all of the titles that I put on myself with
gotcha.
wife and mother. And at the time, I was only going, working as a software engineer,
Mhm,
and everything else was working in the ministry and doing things in church. And I was part of a dance ministry at the time. And
mhm.
I just had all these titles and all these labels that I put on myself. And I can remember there was a moment one morning I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. I didn't recognize who I was.
Oh,
Just
wow.
totally just didn't. It was craziest thing. I just didn't recognize who I was. And I
Mhm,
think at the time I was going through a transformation healing process, just
mhm.
trying to figure out the next stage of my life as a single mother.
Right.
And there were just different things that happened along the way between the age of 35 when I got divorced and 40.
Okay.
And everything was centered around focusing on myself because
Mm,
I had put so much attention and time on other people for
mhm,
so long. I needed to focus on myself. And in the process of doing that, I connected more to my femininity, which
mm,
allowed me to connect more to my sensuality as a woman and not just as a mother.
mhm.
And there's so much that goes into that, and I don't want to take up too much time,
Yeah,
but in 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 like I mentioned real quick, like I mentioned, dance is my first love. So my parents put me in ballet when I was a little girl. So I've been dancing since I was 3, and I've taken different forms of dance. And like I mentioned, I did ballet and jazz and tap as a little girl, and then as an adult, I was part of a dance ministry, and I also did pole dancing for exercise. I went
okay.
to it was a studio nearby that taught exercise classes, and they taught. And one of the main classes was pole dancing and chair dancing, and I
That's
did that, and that's when I really began to have to connect more with myself.
nice.
And what I loved is that my daughter was at an age where she was in ballet classes, and I scheduled my pole classes during her ballet classes, so I would
Okay.
have something to do while she was
While she was doing
doing
her class, you were doing yours.
I was doing mine.
Love it.
And then that just went into studying of sensuality and with female sexuality, and it just went and it just evolved into different things. And
Nice,
I initially became a coach for mothers and helping mothers add more overwhelmed mothers add more pleasure to their lives, or from moving from overwhelmed to focused and fulfilled. And
gotcha.
then once I started to study sexuality and female sensuality, that just it awakened something in me,
Mhm.
which caused me to want to share that awakening with other people.
Nice, nice, nice. All
Yeah,
right.
so that's the
Thank
condensed version.
you. Okay, that's cool. We appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that. So, let's go ahead and dive in. So, our topic is how to awaken your desire. So, I think that words make a difference.
Hmm.
So, maybe we should start out by maybe defining what desire is.
Okay, so let me go to my notes
Okay.
so I don't mess it up. Okay. So, well, first of all, I want to say that the reason I like to focus on desire, not just because of the sensual nature of it and, as it relates to pleasure, but I like desire as opposed to, instead of goals, because I feel like goals are more in your head, they're more thoughts. But
Mm-hmm.
with a desire, there's a feeling attached to it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's something that you can connect to, like when you get when you're not when you're focusing on working towards a goal and you get off track,
Mm-hmm.
it's really easy to get off track when you don't have a feeling attached to that thing. So that's why I like desires as opposed to goals, even though they can be used interchangeably. So
Okay.
first, goals are specific measurable tasks that we set to achieve a desired outcome. They provide structure, actionable steps, and a clear path to realizing our desires. So you can set goals and they can connect to your desires, but the definition I have for desires is they are heartfelt longings, often emotionally charged, that reflect what truly resonates within us. They can be material, emotional, or experiential, and they encapsulate our aspirations for a more fulfilling life.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have you say that one more again.
okay.
Cool. But so give us the definition of desire again, one more time.
Desires are heartfelt longings, often emotionally charged, that reflect what truly resonates within us. So that's the first part. They can be material, emotional, or experiential, and they encapsulate our aspirations for a more fulfilling life. So
Okay.
the desire is more of a feeling. And
Mhm.
that's in the work that I do, that's the first place I start,
Okay.
is your desire. Do you
Mhm.
even know what your desire is? How often do we focus on a goal with a date on it, with I need to do this in 5 months, I need to do this in 3 weeks?
Right.
How often do we do that? Or maybe like right now, people are getting ready to set New Year's resolutions. How often do we set New Year's resolutions? And honestly, by the end of January, we're not even focused on that resolution anymore.
Uh,
But if there was a feeling attached to
right.
that goal, even if you want to still set a goal, and I'll say that I'm not going to say that I don't set goals, but I think I focus on the desire. I focus on the feeling that's attached to how will I feel when I accomplish this thing? Or what will I do when I accomplish this thing? Because once you accomplish it, then you can then set the next goal or the next desire. So you can constantly set desires. But there, I just, for me, when there's a feeling attached to it, I never want to lose that feeling because it feels so good to be in the thought process of having or accomplishing that thing. So
Right.
when I get off track from accomplishing a desire or a goal, I just go back to the feeling of
Okay.
the desire.
So we got a few folks. Marcus is taking notes. I am too, Marcus. I got my notebook and my pen.
All right, Marcus.
We got LaTarsha joining us from Pensacola. Thanks for being here.
Yay.
Brittany here in Tallahassee. Thanks for being here. Cousin Rennie, who's down in South Florida. Thanks for being here. And Princess, who is in Tallahassee. Appreciate
I
you being
love all the Florida people.
here. Yes, yes, yes. So we are talking about awakening your desires. Tamara gave us a definition. So I'm going to ask you all in the comments, if you don't mind sharing with us, what is your desire? What is your desire? She mentioned it could be material, emotional, or experiential. So if you don't mind sharing, again, this is a safe space for us to communicate with one another. What is your desire in the comments? Give us one, give us two, give us a few. Let us know. What is your desire? And while you all are doing that, I see some other folks have joined us. Ozzy in Virginia Beach. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Miss Doris, who is here in Tallahassee, and Sonia B.
Ooh,
Hold on. Sonia B, the intimacy coach and certified sexologist, who is
love it.
Tallahassee as well, is with us being here, Sonia, and also Miss Tina in for She Speaks Solutions in Tampa area. So she said, what happens when the desire shifts and you still have a passion for it. So we're gonna get to that question in just a minute. And she said, "Good evening, Queens." All right. So Princess said she has a desire to have prosperity and peace. Okay, nice.
Okay.
Thank you, Princess. All right. Anybody else? Desires again could be material, emotional, or experiential. Let us know in the comments. What is your desire? What are your desires if you have more than one desire? And
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that most of us do have more
Mm-hmm.
desire.
Yeah,
Right.
you can have as many desires as you want, as what feels good to you, but it may be good to focus on one at a time,
Mm,
depending on what it is. If they're all connected, then of course you can focus on all of them at the same time.
indeed.
But then you can connect that the goal can be the actionable steps that you take towards it. Yeah.
Okay. Iris said, "My desire is to experience life without anxiety, worry, or fear, so I can live life to the fullest and truly
Mhm.
enjoy each moment as it occurs without living in the past or the future."
Mm,
Yes, so that
that's a
is
good one.
truly being present. That's
That
what,
sounds like a life of pleasure.
yes, it does
Yeah.
sound like a life of pleasure. Look at the
Yeah.
pleasure coach. Look at her. Look at her. Love it. All right. Tina said consistency and adventure, growth with purpose.
Yep.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate
I
that.
love this. I
Yeah,
love all these desires.
indeed. We got Marlene Mance on. Thank you for being here. She said to be free of caring about what others
Mm.
think. Ooh, we got to
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
get.
That's a good one.
Indeed. Thank you, Marlene. She is also down in South Florida.
Ah, yeah.
All right. Ozzy said, "My desire is my now and being present every day in it fully." Yes. So again, being present. Yes,
Mhm,
yes, 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 yes. You know, that whole being present piece, that especially in this day and age can be such a challenge because we are so connected to these devices and being present with those and not necessarily being present in the moment or
mhm,
being busy trying to capture the moments instead of just like being in it, like fully taking it all in, like all of the senses as we are experiencing whatever it is. So I'm
mhm.
glad to hear so many folks talking about being present.
Yes. Well, it's a reminder that we're human beings,
Yeah.
not human doings.
Mm,
Because we, because we always feel like we need to do something or
yeah.
fill the gap, fill the quiet moments with something to do. But
Mhm.
when was the last time that you could just this is bad grammar, but when was the last time you just be? When was the last time that you were just a being?
Yes.
And some people may think that it's doing nothing, but sometimes you have to recharge. You have to recharge your batteries, give back to yourself. That was one of the first things that I had to learn.
Mm,
And the buzzword self-care, but really it's just recharging your own batteries.
for sure.
And that's one thing that I like to focus on with people is so many times we in our lives we're giving to other people, we're giving to family, we're giving to our jobs, we're giving to our businesses, we're giving to whatever activities we're a part of.
Mhm.
But give to yourself. If you give to yourself first
Yeah.
and put yourself on, I was going to say at the top of your priority list, how about we put ourselves on our priority list and then work our way to putting ourselves at the top of our list?
Yes.
I guarantee you everything else will fall into place. That was a scary thing for me to do.
Mhm.
Now I don't mind being selfish. I mean, selfish is not a bad thing because
Yeah.
we're with ourselves 24/7. So
Mhm.
why don't we focus on ourselves more?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know? So I would say, can I ask a question of
You
the
can. Hold on
Okay.
one moment.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because we got Olivia Jones on
Ah!
who is here in Tallahassee, and she is how I got connected with.
Yes, that's my fellow author. I got
Look,
the
she
book
will
here.
hold the book up. Look, on purpose woman. Yes. So, Olivia and Tamara co-authored this book with some women that they're in an organization with. And so thank you, Olivia, for joining us tonight. Marcus said he's still trying to put his desires into words, and
That's
that's
okay.
it is quite all right.
Yeah.
Sonia B said, I desire to spend more time luxuriating in
Mm.
my five senses.
Ooh, I like the word she uses.
Yeah, like
Luxuriating,
luxuriating with
yes.
my five senses and being present in the moment. Love it. My mom said, me too, all that and some more, especially at my age. Oh, okay, Mom. Thank you for sharing that. Ozzy said, every day in my quietness, the mornings.
Yep.
Oh, that is his desire. Tanya, you took the words out of my mouth. Okay, good. And then no, Olivia is giving us a greeting. All right. So what's your question? What's your question?
I want to know, first of all, are you on your own priority list? Your daily list of priorities? Are you there?
Okay.
And if you are, where are you on your list of priorities?
Ooh, you stepping on my toes right now. I'm gonna tell you. So I have a business coach, and he asked me about my priorities, and I was last on the list.
Mm.
Ooh, it hurt my soul.
Mm. I've been there. I've been there.
They need
Yeah.
to be flipped around. I was like, ooh,
Because think about
ooh,
this. If you
ooh,
put
ooh,
yourself
ooh. Yeah.
last
So
or don't put
we
yourself last
gotta
at
work on
all, you'll be burnt out every day, all day,
it.
from sun up to sundown. You'll be burnt out. And I'm speaking from experience. So I trust me, I've been there. I know that feeling. But once you like, and it's not about it's not about giving yourself, it's not a lot of time during your day. It's just the quiet moments, whether it's first thing in the morning, meditation or journal writing, or in the evening. Like I love taking a bubble bath, or or even journal writing at night too, because it's like a brain dump from the day,
Yes.
or taking a walk or taking a nap. It doesn't have to be anything major, but
Right.
just taking precious moments to give back to yourself
Mm-hmm.
is so important, because then when you fill your tank, then you're able to give more to whoever and whatever you're
All
giving
right.
to.
So I hope you all heard that question in the comments. If you don't mind sharing, how many of you prioritize yourself? Put yourself on the priority list.
Mhm. And if you're not there, that's fine, because we all have to start somewhere. There was a time when I was not even on my priority list. I didn't even know what self-care was.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes. All right. So Ozzy responded. He said, yes, I am. Just finished my birthday shopping for myself. So when December 25th comes, which is actually Ozzy's birthday, I
okay.
have no expectations for my birthday.
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing he said is finding your 20. And so for Ozzy, that is 20 minutes of meditation a day.
Mhm. Okay.
So when he says find your 20, he's talking about spending that quiet time in meditation. And so, yes, he
Mhm.
definitely, does put himself on the priority list and follows through with making himself a priority. Now, I will say that I am guilty of, I'm on the list, but when that time comes, I'm like, oh, I'll get to it in 5 minutes. Well,
Mm-mm.
I'll do it in an hour, you know. And
No.
and the hour comes and goes, and 5 minutes comes and goes, and I still don't do it. So,
Now, 20 minutes, when you can get to the point where you're meditating for 20 minutes, that's really great. But if you can do 5 minutes,
yep.
5 minutes, start with 5 minutes. And that's another thing that I work with people with, as I have a guided meditation that
Mhm.
I work with people one-on-one with, but I also have it like a recorded guided meditation. And it's a good 5 to 10 minutes, and it's just being present in the
Yep.
moment and being present and being quiet with yourself. But
Yes.
20 minutes, that's great. That's great. I mean, there have been times where I've meditated for an hour. I don't do that on a regular basis, because that's a long time.
Mhm.
Um, and usually it's guided. It's a guided meditation, because
Got
otherwise my mind will wander to
I
other things.
understand. Yes, I
But
already
yeah.
said she prioritizes herself now much better than she did in the past. I exercise daily, do short weekend getaways, and journal
Mm,
daily.
I
Nice.
love that.
Thank you for sharing ours. Marcus, I'm number one now. I didn't used to be.
Love it.
Improvement. Thank you,
Yeah.
Marcus, for sharing. Princess, yes, I'm first to be productive as a mother and for myself because I love some of me.
I
Nice.
love that. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Olivia said, I always think of the airplane analogy. I'm number one on my priorities list. This helps me stay grounded throughout the day. I'm better able to serve others. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it. That's great, Olivia. Thank you for sharing. And we got Dr. Terry Parks, who is a psychologist in Atlanta, joining us. He said, hey, y'all, I need to awaken my desires. All
All
right,
right.
Parks. Let us know. I know you look, I know Dr. Parks is a priority on his list. Listen, he has a whole self-care day every week.
I love that. Love that. I love self-care. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yes, yes.
Because
So
self-care is not selfish. It is not
it
at
is
all.
not. It is not. So I say everything comes to you in quietness for the next step's purpose. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonya, I don't leave my bedroom in the morning before I spend about an hour of quality time with myself, including meditation, quiet time, prayer, journaling, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Love it.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing.
That's so
Iris.
important.
Yes, I still have some work to do when it comes to not inconveniencing myself for others. There are times when I need to tell others no instead of saying yes, trying to rid myself of people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
Important. Mom, can you share some ways to start the meditation?
Yes, I can. So if you've never meditated before, I would say find some if you need a guided meditation, contact me. I can help you get a guided meditation. I can send that to you. Or if you want to find some quiet music and just 5 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes. Find some quiet music, uh, preferably instrumental music, and set a timer for 5 minutes and just it's hard to say don't think about anything because then you're going to think about everything. So it's just being get quiet in yourself. If you need to lay down, I can lay down and meditate, but sometimes when you first get started you don't want to fall asleep.
Mhm.
So sitting down and meditating, and you can close your eyes, you can do a prayer hold, you can whatever I would say, just get comfortable whether you're sitting down or laying down. Just get comfortable wherever you are and give yourself 5 minutes to just get quiet and just be present in the moment with really no expectation. It's just to get grounded in your day, whether it's the beginning of your day
Mhm.
or the middle of your day, the end of your day. There's no perfect time. The perfect time to meditate is when you meditate. So I'm not going to say that the perfect time is first thing in the morning when you wake up, because for some people that's perfect. But for
Mhm.
some people, meditating at night is the best time because it can quiet down from the day.
Right.
But I can say this, it is good to do it as early as possible because that's you giving to yourself before you give to everyone else during the
Mhm.
day.
I like.
So quiet music, 5 minutes, set an alarm for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
And I will say another tip is to have a notebook next to you and journal. Let's say you do get a message or you do get something that you want to remember. You
Right.
have that journal next to you after the 5 minutes is over, and you
Mhm.
can start journaling some of your thoughts.
Okay.
Mhm.
I hope that helped, Mom. All right. Tina said, I'm still working on this. For now, I'm spending time in the present. So working on this. Okay.
Mhm.
That's fine. That's fine. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself
Yeah,
grace, and it will happen.
it
But
won't happen overnight. It's because it took us a while to get to where we are now. But
mm,
then once you decide to make that change doesn't happen overnight. It's steps along the way.
indeed, indeed.
Mhm.
Dr. Park said, let thoughts pass through your conscious like clouds in the sky without judgment. Don't worry about distractions. They are just reminders that we need to get back to what we were doing.
Right. Yeah.
Great
Because when
point.
you first get started, the distractions will come.
Mm,
That's just natural because
yeah.
it's something you've never done before.
Mhm.
So you can't expect to be perfect at it the first time you meditate. So that's why I say 5 minutes is great because if you go to 10 minutes might be okay. But when
Right.
you start going to 15, 20 minutes when you first get started, your
Mhm.
mind will wander to other things. You'll open your eyes or you'll get out of that because you'll feel like you're missing out on something or you feel until you I would say once you get comfortable meditating for 5 minutes, then you can increase the time because then you'll be um, you'll be used to it. Your body will be used to it. Your mind will be used to it, and
Mhm.
you'll know you'll actually want to increase the time because you'll realize the benefits of it.
Yes. So we are about halfway through our conversation. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm on with Tamara Robinson, a passion and pleasure and love coach who's from Miami but based in the DMV area. And so we are talking about how to awaken your desire.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of times when we talk about desire, people think specifically sexual desire, but we are talking about just, you know, what your heartfelt longings are, your feelings, and those can be, as we talked about earlier, material, emotional, experiential. And so some of you have so wonderfully shared what some of your desires are. And thank you for sharing that. And then we kind of went into just being present, and the last question from my mom was on meditation. I see we have a couple of folks that have joined us. Joe Ward on the Shoulders of Giants, who's here in Tallahassee, and uh, Gloria, who I believe is my adopted godmom in New York. She said my preference is in the morning, me time, in order to start the day well. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That is a good, yeah. First thing in the morning is great
Mhm,
because that is the way to put yourself first.
mm.
If you can give yourself 5 minutes of meditation first thing in the morning, that's perfect. That's a perfect way to start. Mhm.
So, Tina, I did not forget about your question. I'm gonna put it up right here, and we'll get to it in just a moment because I want to get through these other questions first that we had. And so, Tina asked, "What happens when a desire shifts and you still have a passion for it?" So, we'll get to that in just a moment. But
Okay.
I think our next question was on. We asked folks to talk about their desires, but why do you desire it, whatever that is, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Why
Why
do
do
you?
you have that desire? Is it and that for that question is also it's not only understanding your desire even more on a deeper level, but it's also making sure that it's your desire and not something that's either someone else told you is a desire or maybe that you saw you saw that, oh, this person has that or that person has that and I want that desire, or it's something that someone is desiring for you.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the first question was what do you desire, then why do you desire that thing?
Okay.
And it's really a way for you to align with your authentic self,
Okay.
and truly understanding where that desire comes from and why you have that.
Gotcha. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So Joe said, yes, first part of my day is only for me. All
Yep.
right. So it sounds like a number of people start their day off with this quiet time of
Mhm.
reflection, meditation, prayer, that sort of thing, which is great.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really great. That's really good.
Indeed. All right. So, oh, and Glow said, no, it's not the one in New York. It's the Glow in Tally. All right. Well, cool. Thank you. So let us know. So why do you desire whatever you have mentioned you desire? Why do you desire it? What is it? What's the motivation behind that desire? If you don't mind sharing, safe space
Mhm.
for us to communicate with one another. No judgment. So let us know. Why do you desire it? Why do you desire to be present? Why do
Mhm.
you desire to um what else do we have
I
here?
was looking through the comments. What were the other ones?
Spend more time luxuriating in your senses. Uh, be free of caring about what others think. Let's see, growth with purpose, consistency and adventure, experience life without anxiety, worry, or fear. I think that one is kind of self-explanatory, but
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, and another way to think of this is, what's your motivation for that desire?
Mm-hmm. So Princess said it allows me to grow and be free from
Mm.
yes.
Ooh, that is a good one. That is
Yes.
good.
It
That
is.
is so important.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of us have, this can be this can be a little tricky, because I'm hesitating to say this, but a lot of us have, from the past, our past selves, or even our childlike self,
Mm-hmm.
running our lives as adults.
Mm-hmm.
And would you have a 5-year-old run your life? No. And it's something that's in your childhood that maybe took place. And sometimes you need to heal that part of yourself in order to then move forward with
Yes.
with the rest of your life.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had to figure out a way to say that that wouldn't be too triggering, because that's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive
It
topic. So
is. It
yeah.
is very, very sensitive.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, you said that well. All right. So outside of Princess, it doesn't look like any takers. So let's go on to the next question, which is what's the first step? What's
What's
the
the
first?
first step? And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I asked this question is because if it's a desire, it's obviously something that we haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've identified the desire, and once you know why you have that desire and your motivation for accomplishing or achieving that desire in your life, then identify what's the first step you can take. Not the 10th step, the first one, because all it takes is one step. Because once you take that first step, then that combines with your faith, or your motivation, or the action steps. Because once you take that first step, then you can take the next one and the next one, and however many steps you need. But you
For
got to
sure.
take the first one. So
Yeah. So we got Dr. Derek Standifer, who is in Atlanta on. He said childlike past running our adult lives. Wow. Yes.
mhm.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
We probably don't take much time to think about that, but it's more prevalent than we probably care to admit.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was for myself, that was something that I didn't realize that was a thing until a couple of years ago. And once I went back and
Mhm.
cleaned some of it, I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't. You have to think about, would you allow a just think about anything that happened in your past that could have been triggering or life changing or whatever. Would you allow that, even that 19-year-old, run your life right now? Would you let a 19-year-old run your life at the age you are right now? Would you let a 5-year-old run your life? When you
Mm.
don't heal those things from the past, the person you are at that age is running your life right now as an adult.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, Olivia says she desires to be the best version of herself. Yes, that's so I think that is her why. And so Ozzy said the first step after the desire is passion. Okay.
Mhm.
Prince says knowing my identity. And Ozzy again, therefore being present is a must to adjust your sails. So Ozzy is a Navy man. So
Oh, okay.
right. So Marcus had a question. He said, how can we identify negative desires that entered through trauma?
Well, um, that is a heavy question. That's an important question. Um, that is actually something that I do, that I help people with, because I had to do that for myself first in order to understand how that works. Um, I would say it's not something that you can do on your own. You
Mhm.
definitely need support and guidance, because you never know what's going to come up. Because once you uncover one thing, this happened with me. Once I uncovered one thing, then there were other things that were uncovered, and other things that things that are traumatic, they really stay in your body.
Yeah.
They're somewhere in your body. And once you have someone who can guide you through the process of connecting with that trauma that's in your body, and then, because right now the trauma is stuck. If you know that there's a trauma that you've experienced, it's stuck in your body. you may not even know that the trauma is stuck, because that was me. That was a trauma that I experienced. I won't go into details, but it was in my body and I had forgotten about it. And it wasn't until I was going through therapy. This was before I became a coach. I was going through therapy and I connected with what happened right before the event and what happened right after it. And it was the space in the middle that I had forgotten for a number of years. And I needed the guidance of another person to walk me through that process, because who knows what would have happened if I was by myself. So I would say identifying that you have the trauma is the most important step. But then going through the meditation or going through different practices, whether it's journal writing or you have to get it out. Once you identify that trauma, you have to get it out. And I would say that having help and support is the best way to do that.
So, Marcus, I'll just say that is part of why we have Mindset Monday and Wellness Wednesday, to have professionals on that can assist with identifying those, negative desires, identifying those traumas that have not been healed or resolved or what have you. So that is, again, part of what we're here for. So hopefully somebody, maybe even our passion, pleasure, love coach here may be able to assist with those specific issues.
Yes.
All right. So Susan has joined us from Virginia. Thank you for being here. And then Iris said, that's powerful. I've never thought of it this way. I definitely don't want my 19-year-old self making decisions for my future. Yes.
And that's what happens when there's a traumatic event. It's almost like your life, I don't want to say your life stops, because you continue growing, of course, but there's something in our brain and in our body that shifts the way we move forward in life. Has anyone ever seen, this is the best analogy I have, has anyone ever seen the movie, the Back to the Future franchise of movies?
Yeah.
I think it's in Back to the Future 2, part 2, where when they go, I think they go back to 1985, but it's an alternate 1985.
Okay.
Because the Biff character is the wealthy guy or something like that.
Right.
So they can't. And I think what they wanted to do was then again go forward in time, but they couldn't go forward from that alternate point. They had to go back in time to when Biff first got the sports almanac. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Back to the Future too. So he had to go. So you can't. So let's just say that when Biff got the sports almanac in the past, that was the traumatic event that changed everything. So when they went back to 1985, they couldn't fix that. They had to go back to right. They had to go back to when that traumatic event happened, when Biff got the sports almanac, and then that put everything else in place.
Okay.
So that's the best way. That's the best. I love that movie. And so when I was doing this work on myself, that's what made sense.
So you can maybe go back and look at Back to the Future, because I don't remember any of that, even though I've seen all of them.
I think that was part 2, I believe.
Okay. All right.
1955. They had to go back to 1955 to fix they noticed the problem in 1985. So imagine you noticed the trauma, you noticed the effects of the trauma in 2023, right? But you can, in order to truly fix it and clear it, you have to, through meditation, yes, it was part 2. So through meditation and through journal writing and through different practices, you have to go back, you have to go back in time, not physically, obviously, but you have to, you have to go back in time to fix it. And then it kind of like course corrects the rest of your life. So it's like finding the root of the problem, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Princess says self-reflection of the past events to understand the root of the event. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of folks that have just joined us. Alex, who is in Miami. Thank
you. Yay! Send some of that warm weather up here, because it's getting cold in Maryland.
Yeah, cold in Tallahassee too. And we got Dr. Monica on with us, who's here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here, Dr. Monica. Dr. Monica actually writes erotica.
Ooh, nice.
Yes,
I
yes,
like
yes,
the.
yes.
Where is she on social media? I will.
She
I will.
is. I'll
Okay.
connect you with her. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I think so we talked about what's the first step. I think Ozzy was kind of the only person that kind of responded to that one. So let's move on to the last question, which is what's holding you back?
Mm.
What's holding you back?
From taking that first step. And
Yeah.
if you don't know, that's okay. That's
Hmm.
okay. That's perfectly fine. But it's all connected. So identifying your desire,
Hmm.
identifying why you have that desire is the next step.
Yes.
Identifying that first step, and
Hmm.
then what's holding you back. Because if you didn't have anything holding you back, you would have already taken that first step. And if you were already taking that first step, you'd already have the desire. So that's why I kind of work backwards that way.
Indeed. All right. Some more folks have joined us. Coach Merv, who's here in Madison, Florida. Thank you for being here. And Miss Donna Beach, who from high school, but Donna Wallace, who's
Okay.
in Miami, South Florida,
Yay.
being here as well. So Ozzy said nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Well, then take that first step.
Listen, Ozzy is probably taking them steps. Listen, he don't play. He's got a mission to accomplish, a desire, a passion. He's gonna do it.
Mhm. And
So
the more you do it, the easier it gets.
mhm.
It can be a little unnerving, a little uncomfortable at first, but the more you do it, the easier it is. And then you can the the great thing is to when you can get to the point where you're making these steps and these decisions with pleasure. And I'm
Mm,
not just saying sensual pleasure, because that's
mm,
important too. Because there's
right.
another piece of that, but I won't go into that. But
She's
there's,
holding
there's
back on
something
us
else we can
tonight, y'all.
add to.
Listen, she holding back on us tonight. We didn't get into the sexual stuff, even though that's what she does on a regular. She was keeping it PG for
See, I
y'all.
didn't know if I could go there. I'm trying to keep it PG
It's
today.
okay. It's all right. I mean, you have to come back. That's all that
Okay,
matters. It's okay.
right.
So
But I'll
yeah.
just say this: when you have the desire and you connect it with your faith and your or whatever it is that you need to take that first step,
Hmm.
when you then add the power of pleasure, and I'll say the big O because I don't know, I didn't get permission to say the word, so I'll say the big O. When you when you add the power, there's power in your big O. I'm just
Mm,
going to leave it there because
okay.
that then adds the pleasure where you can move forward and make your decisions in life with pleasure, and you can live a life of complete and total pleasure.
Look, I don't know if Sonya B is on here still, but she will definitely speak to that. I probably need to have both of y'all on the show together.
Yes. We
She,
can have another show because I didn't get permission
she don't
to
have
go
no
there with you
problems
today.
talking about all of that, but it's okay. It's all right. We talking about goals. We keeping it PG for
Keeping
y'all.
it
So
PG
here
with
we go.
desire. And I'll just say
All
pleasure
right.
and the big O. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. All right. So Princess did share. She said, my issues were fear and overthinking till I learned my fears were not more significant than
Mm,
destiny. Love that, Princess.
yes.
Yes, 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 yes. That's awesome. Coach Merv, I recommend the book Atomic Habits. Awesome compliment to this topic. Great topic. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I have to check that one out. Thank you, Coach Merv. And Marlene, stepping out of my comfort zone. Ooh, that is huge.
Hmm.
That is huge.
That's
So
a big one.
that's what oftentimes holds us back, right? Because
Hmm.
we've gotten into this pace and space that is warm, that is comfortable, that is non-confrontational, that is not challenging us, that is not pushing us, all right?
Hmm.
So
But
step.
then, how comfortable is the comfort zone if it's keeping us from our desires?
Mhm. Great question.
I'm just speaking from experience, so I don't want to.
Great
I'm just speaking
question.
from experience.
Great question. So Princess said that big O is for someone special. It has great chemistry. Absolutely. Absolutely, Princess.
True,
Yes.
true, but there's also a way to use it to fuel your own life, to fuel yourself. And that's another show.
That's another show. We gonna have that show, Princess. We gonna make sure you on that because we gonna flush that thing right on out. All right. So Iris, I don't always trust the process. So this is again what's holding you back. Iris said, I don't always trust the process due to past trauma. I want to be in control of how things happen and when they happen so I can protect myself. This unfortunately creates a barrier to me achieving my goal, but I work on it daily. Nice.
Mhm.
Yes, it's good to be able to have that type of self-awareness and to be able to work on it daily.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Iris.
Thank you, Iris.
Alonza, who was on last Monday, is here. He's a clinician here at Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. Princess said, teach. All right, Sunshine Gang. I have the book and the Audible Atomic Habits. Now I need to crack it open. Okay.
I need
Again,
to get that book.
that
I
one
haven't
took
heard of that one.
of things to check out for sure. All right. Anybody else as it relates to what's holding you back? What's holding you back? So we heard or we read stepping out of the comfort zone, fear, overthinking, nothing. We heard not being able to trust the process and wanting to have control of everything. Um, so I think also comparison,
Mhm.
which we kind of talked about a little bit. And so I have mixed feelings about comparison. I think it can be good and bad,
Mhm.
positive and negative. Just depends on how you use it. Like to me, comparison can be used as something to obtain or reach towards. You can have those role models or examples that sometimes if you don't see it, you can't conceive it
Right.
and even see it for yourself, right?
Right. Well, comparison can be a good for motivation. The only thing is most of the time we're comparing where we are now to where someone is in, to someone who's already accomplished their goal or their desire, but
Right.
we didn't see the steps that they took to get there.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing. So
Yeah.
compare it can be used in a good way as a to fuel your motivation, but then we still have to take a couple steps backwards and figure out what our first step is, because we can't get to where they are until maybe if you want to ask that person, you can, if you have access to that person, you can ask them what steps they took. But
Mhm.
usually, like even like with social media, most people put their best selves on social media. So
Mhm.
we can't compare where we are to where the other person is because we don't know what steps they took to get to where they are.
Indeed.
Mhm.
All right. Dr. Monica said the big O is good for what ails you.
Yes. These
Listen,
are my people.
listen, Dr. Monica and Sonya B, ma'am, they the real deal. As it
They
relates.
say an apple, what is it? The apple a day keeps doctor away.
Uh-huh.
A big O a day
Keep Dr.
can cure what ails you.
Headaches, all of that. Listen, don't start. Don't
I'm
start.
not,
That's
I
another
won't. I'm
show.
gonna
That's
be good.
another show.
I
Listen,
didn't start it. I'm gonna be good.
listen. You speaking Dr. Monica language. All right, Coach Murr. Social anxiety holds many back. Yes, but we don't get diagnosed with it, so we
Mhm.
struggle and lose so much time.
Yes.
Indeed,
Hmm.
and I think COVID helped to exacerbate that, bring that out a whole lot as well.
Hmm.
Hmm. All right. So, in the last few moments that we have, I'm going to roll it
Mm.
back to Tina's question.
Yes.
We didn't forget you, Tina. Hold on.
I
Let's see
vaguely remember what it was, but I wanted to see it again. Okay.
what happens when the desire shifts and you still have a passion for it.
Well, if you still have a passion for it, I would say that it's still your desire. And
Mhm.
it's okay to shift. It's okay to change your mind. I think I would need more information on that, because it's okay to change your mind during the process. Like if you have a desire, this is the way I'm understanding the question. You have a desire and maybe you're making some steps towards that desire. But on the way there, the desire itself makes shifts. It's okay for you
Yes.
to shift.
Mm-hmm.
Um as long as it's to your benefit, as long as it's something that's working towards your benefit and it's not hurting you or anyone else around you, because that can happen too.
Right.
You might start on this path towards accomplishing something, but then you realize either you don't want it anymore, or it says you still have a passion for it. So I guess I'm not understanding the difference between the desire shifting and still having a passion for that desire, because it sounds like you're changing along with the desire.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me.
So I don't know if Tina is still on, but if you don't mind giving a little clarity to your question, that way we can try to address. Let us know. So let's see. Ozzy said more insight is needed
Mhm.
to understand shift or burnout.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
because it's
Okay, cool.
okay to make shifts. It's okay because it's okay to change your mind. I think we're afraid to change our mind or change a decision that we've made, but we're human.
Yep.
And you never, once you take that first step, you may realize, oh, well, wait a minute, I don't know if I really want this.
Right.
So it's okay to make shifts along the way
Well,
because it's your life.
yeah, especially if there's some new information or some other, contributing factors that have, come about
Mhm.
after the initial desire. So it's
Exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
Dr. Monica, it is about permission, getting to a place where we give ourselves permission to go for the goal.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yep.
So that might be it as well in terms of what's holding you back, right?
Because sometimes we get in our own way.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oftentimes we get in our own way. Oftentimes. Yes. All right. Well, very good. So I think we handled all of the
I
questions,
think we did. We
which
did.
is great. Which is
Yes.
yes. All right. Well, I want to give you an opportunity to provide some closing remarks as well as tell folks how they can connect with you.
Okay. Well, I have enjoyed being here with you. This conversation is always great. I've always enjoyed this. And thank you all for participating and participating in the questions. I've really enjoyed this time today.
Good.
And I would love to connect with you. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Passion Pleasure Coach on both of those platforms.
Mhm.
And just for the Conversations with Nicole audience, for anyone here live or watching the replay, if you message me on Instagram, just message Nicole, the word Nicole, just her name. If you message me on Instagram, I'll send you a link to get to schedule a free session, a free coaching session with me. So we could talk about some of the things that were discussed here. Or if you have a specific question for yourself, just message me, Nicole, on Instagram in the DMs, and you can get a link to schedule a free session with me.
Look at it. Look at y'all. Look, listen here. The Nicole effect. Look, y'all about to get a free session
Yes,
from the Passion Pleasure Love Coach just for being a viewer of Conversations with Nicole. No, I,
yep,
I really do appreciate that.
you're
Yes,
welcome.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes. So you all can again just follow her on Instagram, message her, Nicole, and she'll schedule a free session with you. So
I'll send you the link, and you can schedule a link to my calendar. You
yes.
can schedule.
So you definitely want to take advantage of that. All right. So hopefully this has benefited you all. If it has, let us know in the comments. And I want to encourage us to keep the conversation going. So Ira said, great conversation, excellent conversation. You are welcome.
Marcus says, "You get a session. You get a session.
You get a session. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Everybody gets a
That's how it goes. Exactly. All right, Coach Merv, I would love to connect with your guests. Absolutely, Coach Merv. We will make that happen.
definitely."
Nice conversation. Princess, thank you, Nicole and Tamara. Have a great night. All right. Yes. Passion, pleasure, coach. Stirred up my passions. Wonderful.
Yes, very good.
Love it. Look, they gonna keep you booked and busy, Mel.
That's hey, that's okay. That's
Yes,
okay. You have
yes,
to, I mean, this is great. This is a great conversation. And then if anyone wants to continue that conversation,
mm,
just connect with me. Yeah,
indeed,
it'll be
indeed.
it'll be good.
Another great session. Very informative and encouraging. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. So again, let's keep these conversations going. Please follow her, connect with her, and
Mhm.
share this link with somebody that you think that would benefit from it. Because again, we all have desires. It's just a matter of why we have these desires. What's the first step in obtaining our desires, and then if we aren't obtaining them, then what is holding us back from obtaining them?
Yes.
All
And
right.
one more quick thing. If
Yeah.
you go to my website,
Mm.
passionpleasurecoach.com, you can get a copy of my ebook, which is
Oh
a free
yeah.
ebook, and that actually will take you through the steps of helping you to identify your desires. Basically, I take the letters of the word desire to
Ah.
define the desire and to define what the desire should look like in your life.
All right. So again, passionpleasurecoach.com. You can get the free ebook. On Instagram, you can DM her, follow her, and then DM her,
Nicole.
Nicole, and then she will send you the calendar so you can set up an appointment for a free session. All
Yes.
right. Wonderful. For those of you who are new to the platform, I don't know if anybody is, or those of you maybe watching the replay, of course, we want to invite you to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We are here on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The focus is on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities and encouraging us to get our checkup from the neck up, connect with a clinician of color, or just a clinician that's going to help you identify some new solutions to some old problems. And that could be a coach like the Passion Pleasure Coach, who is with me right now. So again, thank you so much for being here and
Thank
for
you,
sharing.
Nicole.
And we definitely have to get you on the books for next year to talk about
The Big O show.
oh, there we go. That's it, right? I gotta write that down. The big old shows. Y'all heard it right here. Okay. So I think we might have to have that like pre-Valentine's Day or something.
Ooh,
Yeah, the big old show.
the
That's
Big
it.
O show.
Love it. All right, good people. Hopefully, we will see y'all Wednesday. Y'all be safe, be careful. Oh, and for those of you in Tallahassee, just real quick, we will have line dance class tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Walker Ford Community Center. Our second to the last class of the year, so it's free. No sign up, just show up. We're gonna line dance for about an hour from 7:30 to 8:30 at Walker Ford Community Center. So hope to see you out there. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.